last read aloud for this unit. It is called What Do a Flag, a Bell, and an Eagle Have in Common? Before we jump in, I have a couple of questions. So, what does the word founded mean? It means set up or established. So, remember that you guys have been learning about how the United States was founded. You've learned about the founding fathers. Who were my founding fathers? George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, and Thomas Jefferson, right? And they each did different things to help out our country. So now we can start our read aloud. Based on the title, What Do a Flag, a Bell, and an Eagle Have in Common? What do you think this read aloud is about? Now, I want you to listen carefully to find out if your predictions or what you think this story is going to be about are right. Let's see. What do a flag, a bell, and an eagle have in common with each other? All three are symbols for the United States of America. A symbol is a sign that everybody recognizes and stands for something else. What does this symbol mean? People see a symbol and knows what it stands for. For example, does your school have a mascot or a logo or a banner or something that makes you think of your school every time you see it? We've got the Chargers, right? You might also think a lightning bolt might make you think of our school, okay? Many sports teams have symbols. Can you think of any? We have symbols all around us. Before you even learned to read words, you probably learned to read symbols. Let's find out how a flag, a bell, and an eagle came to be symbols of or represent the United States of America. Now, you already know a little bit about our flag from the legend of Betsy Ross. The flag with its circle of the 13 stars was not the first flag to be flown in America. The word stars in this sentence means symbols with 5 or more points. The word stars might also mean objects in space that are made of burning gas and look like points of light in the night sky. During the early days of exploration, flags of many different countries were used to represent land claims. The first official flag of our nation was the one you learned about, flown on Independence Day, July 4th, 1776, and adopted by the Continental Congress a year later, on June 4th, 1777. Do you remember what the 13 stars and stripes stood for? Yeah, they were symbols for the 13 colonies that eventually became 13 states. As the country grew, more states were added. With each new state, a new star was added to the flag. Pretty soon, there were too many stars to fit in a circle, so the patterns changed over the years. Now we have 50 states and 50 stars arranged in rows, still on a blue background like the original flag. The same 13 red and white stripes remain as reminders of the original 13 colonies. How many of those original colonies can you name? We'll have to think. Ready? Let me see if I can remember them. Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, New York, New Hampshire, Delaware, Rhode Island, Connecticut. Now I lost count. I think that might have been all of them. We're going to pretend like that was all of them. All right. So, June 4th is National Flag Day in the United States, but our flag is flown every day all across America, from the Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean, as a symbol of the land of freedom. It is pretty easy to understand how the stars and stripes became a symbol of our nation. But what about a bell? The Liberty Bell. Another well-known symbol is actually older than the United States itself. You learned that the word liberty is another way to say freedom. But why do you think the bell was chosen as a symbol of freedom? In 1751, the mostly copper bell was made in Great Britain and shipped to Philadelphia, where it was rung to call people to meetings in the town square. According to legend, the Liberty Bell may have been rung from the State House steeple after the Declaration of Independence was first read in July of 1776, but we don't know for sure. During the Revolution, the colonists feared that the British might melt down the bell for cannonballs, so it was moved and hidden in a town north of Philadelphia until the war ended. Over the years, the bell cracked and was repaired several times. It was rung for the last time on George Washington's birthday in 1846 when it cracked beyond repair. Today, the bell sits outside Independence Hall in Philadelphia. It is only about 3 feet tall, but it weighs as much as a hippopotamus. If you ever visit the Liberty Bell, be sure to look for the words of freedom taken from the Bible and written on its side. Proclaim liberty throughout all the land and unto the inhabitants thereof. Leviticus 25:10. So, I have gotten to see the Liberty Bell, and it is really awesome, okay? If you guys ever get the chance to go to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and see the Liberty Bell, you should definitely do it. All of these places that we've learned about and talked about, they have some pretty cool things to see, especially if you know stuff about them, which now, after this unit, you guys are almost experts. All right, a bald eagle. So we have a flag and a bell. The third symbol is a bald eagle, a large bird of prey with a white head and tail found only in North America. Who chose the American bald eagle as a symbol of our country? To find out, we must return once more to our friends, Thomas Jefferson and Benjamin Franklin. What do you see in this picture? When the Second Continental Congress met and declared independence from Great Britain, they also decided that they needed an official seal. A seal is an official image or mark. A seal is also a symbol. Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, and John Adams met to design the seal. They talked about using an eagle on the seal, but Franklin said, "No, I don't agree. I think that a turkey would be much better symbol for our country than an eagle." Why do you think Benjamin Franklin wanted to use a turkey as a symbol of our country? I don't know. As there was not much time, the men only agreed on part of the seal that year, a statement that read, E pluribus unum, which in Latin means out of many, one. They chose this saying because they were making one nation out of many separate states. It was not until 6 years later, in 1782, that the bald eagle, a symbol of long life, strength, and freedom, was officially added to the seal. On the seal, the eagle holds an olive branch for peace in one of its talons. Do you see the olive branch? Oh, hang on, lost my pointer. See the olive branch? In the other, it grips a bundle of 13 arrows, symbolizing the power of war. Covering its breast is a shield of red and white stripes around it. Oh, right here. See the shield? Around its head, a crest with 13 stars. Why do you think there are 13 stars? And 13 arrows? If you look carefully, you might be able to read the words written on the scroll in its bill. You see it? E pluribus unum. Out of many, one. Now that you know what to look for, try being a symbol detective. As you go through your day, be on the lookout for flags, bells, and eagles, symbols of freedom, and reminders of our country's founders who fought for our freedom long ago. So, in one word, what do a flag, a bell, and an eagle have in common? Symbols. They're all symbols. All right, guys. What was the main topic or main idea of the read aloud? Our nation has many symbols, including a flag, a bell, and an eagle. This read aloud also discussed why those three items were symbols for our nation, or are symbols of our nation. I want you to look at this picture. What is this? It's a current American flag. How and why has our flag changed in appearance over the years? Why did it change? Why doesn't it only have the 13 stars in a circle? Because it has added more stars because we've added more states, right? Now there are 50 stars instead of 13, but we still have our 13 stripes to represent the 13 original colonies and remind us where we started, right? Now look at this picture. What's this a picture of? The Liberty Bell. Why was the Liberty Bell moved from Philadelphia during the Revolutionary War? The colonists were afraid that the British would melt it down for cannonballs. What is this a picture of? A bald eagle. Talk with your neighbor about places where you have seen any of these three symbols. Which one would you like to see most? I think I would like to see the Liberty Bell again. I thought that was really cool. It's not something that you could see on an everyday basis. You can see the flag pretty much any day. And an eagle, I feel like if you looked in the right places, you could probably find it. But the only place you can find the Liberty Bell is in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. All right, word work time. In the read aloud, you heard all three symbols of the United States of America represent America. Say the word symbols with me. Symbols. 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 Symbols are images used to represent something else. Letters of the alphabet are symbols of the sounds that we use to speak. Tell me about some other symbols you know about. Try to use the word symbols in your sentence. What's the word we've been talking about? Symbols. All right. Choose the nation symbol that you have learned about that is your favorite. I want you to tell somebody why it's your favorite. All right, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this CKLA unit as much as I did. I really love learning about the history and where we came from. Have a great day. Bye.